Good afternoon, everyone who is so willing and kind to watch DuPont Registry Tampa Bay's Tampa Bay Talks. We're still fighting over the name of it. If anyone wanted a family update, I still am expecting people to write in and say that DuPont Cast is a better name than Tampa Bay Talks, but so far no one has. Anyway, it is my pleasure to introduce you to Marcia and Bruce Hall. Hopefully by the end of this, I can say they are friends of mine. They're people that I got to admire and read a lot about and listen to at the WEDU Awards last year and their nonprofit organization, MrBubblez. So I am so happy that you're here. It took us a long time, right? You're busy, and then we had strict quarantine, and now we're doing masks. Mine's going to keep falling, so I'm going to keep fixing it. But I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, sincerely. We were so touched by what you shared and by what your ministry is. And I just want to make sure that we get it out to as many people as follow us and share in our community. So tell me how you got started.
Well, Molly, first I want to thank you for inviting my husband and I here today. You stuck in there with us through all the changes and didn't give up on us, and we made it.
Here we are.
Here we are. But MrBubblez is a simple concept, but it started just simply listening to another human being's need. I work for a very large nonprofit organization here in Tampa, and I primarily work with the homeless over 13 years now. And a young lady came into my office one day just seeking services, and with a very light and gentle voice, she just asked the question, where can I get a shower? And unfortunately at the facility, we didn't offer a shower to the homeless, singles as we call them. So my heart went out to her as a woman, and women's out there. To refresh yourself on a daily basis is a great need in our lives, outside of looking for purses. But what the story goes on, I did make a way for her to be able to refresh her body, just simply stepping into the women's bathroom and using what she could use to do that. And I felt so good about it, and I believe she felt good about it. But from that point on, it really stayed with me. It stayed in my heart, up front in my brain. How could a woman not be able, in this great country, be able to refresh her body on a daily basis? From that, I seek God and asked him to tell me, how can I get a shower started for the people out here? These are your people, God. How do I do this? And he began to show me a vision of how to do MrBubblez, get the shower unit together, but not just the shower unit itself, but be able to be portable to take the shower services out to the community, because that's one more thing that the homeless has to deal with, is transportation.
Right.
And so that was the greatest part of that whole concept, is to be mobile, to take the service out to them.
And how do you make that happen? I think I've seen, because I've done a lot of research and seen, but how did you ultimately take the first step of making mobile showers and getting them out into the community?
Well, once again, just in my heart, knew it was a service that needed to be served out to the community. Excuse me of the mask. It does wear down on your lips for a while. But the first step was to planning it out. How can I process it? Where will I go? Who will I ask for? And praying that God would show me or bring people in to support us. And he did just that. A gentleman that owns the showers just wanted to provide the showers to the homeless. He has the heart for the homeless as well, but he didn't want to manage it. He just wanted to be able to take the units out and go and let them go for it. And so a mutual friend of ours came together, shared that information with him and shared it with me, and we came together as a relationship, which was made in heaven, a partner. He provides the showers for me, and we provide the maintenance of it, the controlling of it, where we go, how we do it, when we do it, and it has been a great relationship.
A match made in heaven.
It is a match made in heaven. I love it. And how often do the showers go out to be made available?
We go out before the
Right, before
pandemic, we were
this.
going out at least 2 Saturdays each month, starting in February, and going out to different locations that already served the homeless. Because Molly, I discovered that a lot of people is not comfortable with the homeless. So the idea came to me is just simply go to locations that was already serving the homeless and just add the shower as one of their services. And that's where we started. Trinity Cafe Metropolitan Ministry was great, opening their campus to us and allowing us to come in and provide that service.
And we also have a few churches. We have a few churches that do the same thing with us. They allow us to come out to go. They have when they serve the homeless, and we will bring the showers there. And it's a big network at sometimes.
And what happens when someone arrives? Do you have towels? Is that part of it?
Yes, we have the whole 9 yards. When they come, they register, and when we register them, they have to consent. If we want to take a picture with the founder, they consent to that, and then they'll go through the process of picking out the clothes, and we give them the towels, we're getting all the toiletries. Then from there, they're waiting to be called over to the actual units themselves. Then we have tents where they go in and change clothes, then step into the shower. So it's very professional, but we try to do it in a way that we want them to feel that they come to a 5-star resort.
Yeah.
We cut no corners. We take it very serious. They get underwear, new. We don't give used underwear out. They get shirts, pants, the whole 9 yards.
And a hot shower.
And a hot shower.
Hot shower, right? And what do you think is their rate of return? Do you have the same guests come frequently? Do they know how to find you?
The word gets out.
Yeah, I bet.
It's amazing. We call them clients.
Clients.
They communicate with each other.
Yeah.
They let you know. We had one guy who lived in St. Pete, was in St. Pete. He made his way all the way over to Trinity Cafe because he was going for an interview in a couple of days. And he had to get there to get that shower to get cleaned up. And it is amazing to just come out and to participate in one of our, we call it events. And one of the most impressive things to me is one day, this lady, she got in the showers and all of a sudden she started screaming. We was like, what's going on? What's going on? She was rejoicing.
Oh.
She finally was able to take a shower. And I'll tell you, a lot of times when the clients come out, they make us cry.
Yeah.
Because we have never seen nobody so excited to take a bath.
Right. I know. You think about
it's what we take for granted.
so easily.
Yeah.
So incredibly easily. And I remember that about seeing you at the WEDU Awards and thinking, we tend to take a little extra time on those days and maybe wear a new dress or you have gotten your nails done the day before or something because you're going to be out socializing. And to think about how do we balance that, what's, is maybe acceptable for us, but it could seem selfish or seems unattainable to people who are homeless, and that then we would be sitting there in such a beautiful place with all of the people that were working so hard in every different way. I did read today, I got an email from WEDU. They are going to be doing the event virtually this year, but think of how many, even more people that we'll get to this year. So it'll be disappointing to not gather, but it'll be great for the information. But to think something as basic as a shower and how difficult it is to be able to provide that. We provide food and clothing, not easily, but that does happen through so many different ways. Marcia, I wanted to ask you if you have a favorite story of a client.
Well, yes, I do. That stays real close to my heart. An older man at one of the locations of Trinity Cafe, he came up with one of the attendants at Trinity Cafe, and he asked us to make sure this gentleman got a shower. Gentleman was real shy, head down low, and just really, you could see the defeat in his eyes. And we took extra care of him. We loved on him. My volunteers are awesome.
Awesome.
They are awesome. They really are.
Yes.
We loved on him. Got his shower. They put an outfit together for him, And after the shower, he came out and he talked with us. And he said that he had nothing to smile about for 6 months prior to coming to us that day. And that day, he had the biggest smile on his face. You could see that his eyes were tingling with hope again. And he just said, thank you. He just kept saying thank you. He was so grateful, not just for the shower, but the way we treat him with the dignity and the compassion that we try to show each and every person that comes to our service. But to tell me that he had not had anything to smile about for 6 months, and that day a drop of water transformed his life, to give him a smile and some hope back in his soul, that is priceless.
That is priceless and so powerful. And I think of how easily I say to my children, like if they've had a bad day, go take a shower, go sit in the bath and regroup. And how, it really is, the water really is something that cleanses us in every way, and to be able to offer that. I remember our table was so tearful. We were so incredibly touched by your story. How can we help? What can people do for you? You're unable to do the showers at this time. Is there a date when that could come back?
We do have an event, a reopen event on November 7th, which will be honoring our veterans out in Brandon at Church of Nazareth. We need volunteers.
Okay.
We just need volunteers to sign up. Also, we need supplies. Underwears, because we give them out new, is things that we find ourselves short of. Deodorant, we find ourselves short of, as well as socks, because we try to give them new undergarments. I really can't fathom a person taking a shower and putting back on the gritty, dirty undergarments they've had before. So we try to make sure they get new, because it'll last them for a while, and also just to continue that refreshing of the soul in the process they're getting the showers. But those are things that we need outside of the toothbrush, toothpaste, which we give them, bars of soap, razors, things, all of those little things like that. And you go to our website, you will see our list. But right now, presently, MrBubblez, because we could not go out with the showers because of the pandemic itself and the seriousness of it, we were determined not to do anything at all. As EDU title says, unstoppable. We
Right.
are unstoppable. We are presently taking out HH bags, which is health and care hygiene bags. We just going out in the streets. We're still providing Trinity Cafe in different locations that allow us to bring the shower units. We're taking those packages out to them. In which the health care is the masks, providing them with masks, providing them with hand sanitizers and wipes. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, and also too, before we go out, we take cases of water and put it in the refrigerator and let it get cold. And sometimes when we pull up, cause we got a little theme song. We said, "Mister, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better watch out. I'm telling you why. MrBubblez is coming to town." So when we pull up, and they say, "Hey, this is MrBubblez," we hand them cold water. We had one gentleman, he said, "I just asked God to send me some water. I need some water real bad." And about 5 minutes later, we pulled up with the water.
Yeah.
He just,
It's cold water.
he said,
Cold water.
and it's cold, and it's cold. So that's one of the things that we're doing right now to help. But one thing we do need that she didn't mention is 2X, 3X, 4X size clothing. We had a gentleman that come to one of our events at Trinity Cafe on Bush Boulevard. He got in line. He was so nervous He said, I know y'all ain't got no clothes for me. That's for me to put on. And one of our volunteers heard that. Do you know she spoke to us? She jumped in her car and drove to a store and got him some clothes to put on.
Underwear and everything.
Yes, shirts, the shorts.
He's a big guy.
And he was so happy that we was able to meet his need.
Yeah.
And we tell the volunteers when you come, I said, look, just remember today, well, Mr. Bubbles, you are the hand of God reaching out to help those in need.
Absolutely.
And you can feel it. And sometimes we have parents that bring their teenage kids out so they can see what it means to give back to those who are in need. It's not all about us all the time, but sometimes it's good to help someone. And we had one guy, he got so motivated, he was becoming an Eagle Scout. He turned a project for Mr. Bubbles turned a project for Mr. Bubbles for his Eagle Scout to receive his Eagle Scout reward. That's how people
incredible.
get motivated when they come to see it, and it's that good feeling you feel when you care about someone else than yourself. It really shows.
It does show, and it's that thing about, maybe we be a blessing to others and we will be blessed, right?
Blessed be a blessing.
To be able to provide that. And what is the website? We're going to put it on all of our social media. I always say Danny, our cameraman magician, will make it so that people can find you. It's MrBubblez.com.
It is actually, we changed it.
Oh, you did?
Yay! We shortened it up. But it is MrBShowers.com.
MrBShowers.com.
Yes, I am so proud of that.
We've been having a big conversation here about DuPont Registry Tampa Bay and how long that is to say and add .com to the end, and what do you want people to remember, and how do you abbreviate. Now I notice all places when they're shortening things, I know why. It's easier to find and easier to remember.
Right, exactly.
Well, I know that we will have plenty of our viewers who will be so touched by your story and hitting your website and hopefully coming to your event. I know one of my friends was able to bring you something.
Yes.
She's been asking me for months, where do you think's the best place to give these? And I'm like, I know Mr. Bubbles needs razors. Let me help you get connected. But I wanted to thank you for your time. I mentioned as we were getting started that at the WEDU Awards, if you haven't been to them before, they will be back in person someday, but that there's a Hall of Heroes and you can go through and meet the people who are being honored that day. And I know my mom, who is not typically involved in our business, was so... See, I waited till the end. Danny, last week I was really crying. It was terrible. Luckily, it was something we could edit, but we were so touched to see that. And my mom called it. She said, they're going to win. They're going to win because it's such a basic need that we all take so for granted. Take long showers, extra showers, take a shower because you don't have something else to do. And to be able to bring that to people, you have done something so huge. And we are so impressed and so proud to know you.
Thank you.
And I thank you so much for joining us today as well. That's all for today. We've got something else coming up later in the week, some Halloween treats. They've been sampled at my house, so they'll be good. But thank you for joining us, and please do your best to follow up and check out Mr. Bubbles' website and see what you can do to support them. Thanks so much for watching.